everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you, real quick. Sorry it's been so long since my last battle report. I have a job that requires me to travel occasionally, and so yeah, the past couple of months I've been out of town, and I was in Wichita Falls, Texas, and they don't play a lot of Warhammer Fantasy out there. In fact, they don't play any that I ran into. I did check out a couple of stores. The owners told me they didn't play it there. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any good games in, or any games whatsoever. But I'm back home now. I got a couple of games in already, and well, this is the first one, and I've got new lists. But before we get to all that, check this out. That's right. This is my new beast. Back, I think it was like in November of last year, I listened to a podcast pretty religiously called Garage Hammer. I've mentioned him in a few of my, in all of my Army book reviews, but it's a really cool podcast. Couple of really cool guys. I've never met them, never really talked to them, just a few emails and stuff like that back and forth, and on the forums, the Garage Hammer forums. But if you're looking for something to listen to that's all about Warhammer and some entertaining guys, go listen to them. They don't know I'm giving them this plug. I don't even know if they'd approve, to be honest. But yeah, they're cool. I listen to them a lot. I really do enjoy it. But anyway, they had a painting contest, or they had a contest. It had nothing to do with painting, sorry. They had a contest, and if you won, you got a model of your choice worked on by this pro painting service called Guild Painting Services. And you had to write this big, long thing, and if yours was chosen, you won, and mine was chosen. I won, which was really cool. And while I was gone, the monster showed up. I got a mutolith painted by these guys, and as you can see, he looks amazing. So I'm now running a dual beast list, and it's poetry. It really is. But as you can see, this beast is just flawless. I really like having him on the table. I've still got to base him and put my glossy coat on him because that's just something I do. I like the candy coat. It's just me. But check. I mean, these guys are cool, and if you're interested, there's their information at the bottom there. I'm going to start putting this little picture on there until either they tell me to stop or I stop doing battle reports. But either way, take a look. This guy is great. I love this thing, and yes, you should check them out and Garage Hammer, because without them, none of this would be possible. But enough of all that. I got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos, that's me, versus Tyrant Fattyback of the Ogres. Yep, my first game back into it, and I get a game against my Ogre opponent, which was a good game. It was fun. He has a slightly new list and stuff like that, but you know what, let's just get right into it. This is my new list. It's been, you know, changed up. Well, I had some spare time during the 6 weeks or 2 months or however long it's been, and so I made up this list. And basically, I dropped a Demon Prince for a Sorcerer Lord, who's Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's a level 4 wizard. He's on a Disc of Tzeentch. He's got the Enchanted Shield, Skull of Catan, Talisman of Preservation, Third Eye of Tzeentch, Flaming Breath, and use the Lore of Tzeentch. And basically, this isn't too clever or a new innovative idea of mine or anything like that. This is something I ran into and adapted from the Shiloh GT. My third round opponent, I believe, had a Sorcerer Lord as his general just running around, and I thought putting one on a disc and just making him a mobile spell launcher, especially with the Lore of Tzeentch because I love it, would be a good idea. And I threw the Skull of Catan on him because I only wanted one wizard, and well, you'll see how that works out for me. But everything else I love. So yeah, expect to see this guy a lot, and I have a really cool model for him now, so you'll see that too in this one. Yay! My hero choices were an Exalted Hero, Lady Elizabeth. She's got the Mark of Tzeentch. She's on a Chaos Deed. She's got a Halberd. She's my BSB. She's got the Dawnstone, the Helm of Many Eyes, and Poisonous Slime. And this woman, she's named after my wife, of course, but yeah, she kicks butt, takes names, and chews bubblegum. So yeah, think about it. And last but not least is my Exalted Hero, Berserk. He's my Mark Corn, Extra Hand Weapon, Totem, Dragon Helm, Seed of Rebirth, Other Trickster Shard, Scaled Skin, Hideous Visage, Lunatic. I love this guy. Comes with 6 attacks. I put the Banner of Rage and Unities in, so he's never going to lose Rage. So 6 Strength, 5 attacks, a Weapon Skill 7. He's a blender. I love this guy. Hence the name Berserk. My core choices are, 5 Chaos Warhounds with Scaled Skin, 20 Chaos Warriors, the Children of Tzeentch. They got the Mark of Tzeentch. They got a full command, hand whip and shield, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. Because what kind of Tzeentch-themed list isn't? Well, Tzeentch-themed unit doesn't have flaming attacks, right? I got another unit of 17 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide. They got the Mark of Khorne, Halberds, Banner Musician, and a Banner of Rage. I got a couple of special choices. I brought in a Gorebeast Chariot with the Mark of Khorne. I had some extra points, wanted to try out a Gorebeast Chariot. You'll see how that goes. And then I have my 5 Chaos Knights, Elizabeth's Honor Guard. They got the Mark of Tzeentch, Ensorcelled Weapons, Banner Musician, and a Standard of Discipline. And of course, my 2 rare choices, the original Mutalith Vortex. And he is now joined by a new beast, the greatest. Yeah, I have 2 beasts. It's awesome. I run dual. I'm gonna give you both barrels. This thing is just too awesome. Wait till you see how it goes. My opponent's list is as follows. His general was a Slaughtermaster, who's a level 4 wizard with the Talisman of Preservation, Crown of Command, and Lord of the Great Maw. And he had 2 heroes, a Firebelly, who was his level 2 wizard with the Talisman of Protection and the Lore of Fire, obviously, and a Bruiser, who was his BSB with the Iron Fist and the Armor of Fortune. And he threw me for a loop here because I'm used to him having the Rune Maw. Apparently he doesn't have that anymore, and I did not realize that. I don't look at the lists. I take a picture of him at the beginning of the game just so I can report it correctly on the battle report, but yeah, I had no idea what he had in his list until I actually made this slideshow. So it was a surprise to me, but you'll see why. His core choices were a unit of 14 Iron Guts with full command and standard discipline, and his special choices were 7 Man-Eaters. And remember that he had 7 Man-Eaters on his list, yet he fielded 8. I'll talk to him. But yeah, he had 7 Man-Eaters. They had Poison. They had Banner and Musician. They had all of them had extra hand weapons. So they had what, like 5 attacks each or something ridiculous. And of course they had the Razor Standard because that's a really good choice. He also had a unit of 4 Mournfang with the Musician Standard and Dragonhide Banner. And of course his 2 rare choices were the obligatory Iron Blasters. These are my spells, all 4 from Tzeentch. Only had the 1 caster, and of course the 2 spells, 1 on each Mutalith, which is awesome. And my opponent, he doesn't have cards for his guys, so his Slaughtermaster had Toothcracker, Brain Gobbler, Troll Guts, and the Maw. And his Firebelly got Fulminating Flame Cage and Flamestorm. Yeah, not too good. Here's deployment. As you can see, for the most part, on my left flank, I left my caster over there. He was going to try to go around and harass the Iron Blasters and the Mournfang. The 2 Mutalists were going to throw their spells at the Mournfang because, damn, their armor save. They've only got a 4-up toughness, so there's a good chance I'm going to do some damage to them. Meanwhile, my Gorebeast Chariot, my warriors were all in the middle there. The idea was the dogs were going to move up front and block the Iron Guts and the Man-Eaters from charging in any kind of a good way. If they were going to charge, they're going to charge the dogs and then just be able to reform, if not overrun, and give me either a beautiful flank or a rear or just a more opportune charge, you know. The Gorebeast was going to go in for support because he's toughness 6. I figured he could handle a lot. And I had the Knights with my BSB over there on the left side with the hill because I was hoping to get him to the flank of the Man-Eaters. The idea here was, with the forest in the way, either get around the forest or use the forest as a shield, or as a, I'm sorry, not a shield, but like a false sense of security so that his Man-Eaters give up the flank, because I will charge my Knights right through the damn forest. I don't care. But yeah, that was my plan in deployment. Here's my opponent's entire army in one picture. From left to right, there's his Mournfang. The 2 cannons in the back are obviously the Iron Blasters. The big brick of meat in the middle there is 14 Iron Guts, or however many he had. Yeah, 14, with a Slaughtermaster and his BSB attached. And inside that 1 unit on the side there are his Man-Eaters with his Firebelly attached. This is my right flank, which consists of my Knights and my BSB. This is my center, which consists from right to left, my Khorne Warriors with Berserk, my dogs. Behind them are my Tzeentch Warriors, and right next to them is my Gorebeast Chariot, Mark of Khorne. And here's my left flank. The Gilded Beast is the orange one. The Beast, the original Beast, is the blue one. And there's my Sorcerer Lord on a disc. And as you can see, I went a little crazy with the conversion, and I love it. So there. So yeah, things start off. He gets to go first, and here's top of one after movement. And as you can see, he does what Ogres do. They came forward, and they left the Iron Blasters in the back to shoot. Not a surprise at all. His magic phase doesn't do anything because I'm able to stop everything, or he rolled really low. Bottom line, his magic phase was uneventful. In his shooting phase, the first Iron Blaster takes careful aim at the new beast, fires, and misfires 5. And decides to look back at my opponent, trying to figure out what he should have done instead. The other Iron Blaster fires, and the shot goes way over. He goes 6 inches away, and he shoots 10 inches and completely misses. It was awesome. So I dodged 2 bullets literally this one. So we go in the bottom of one, and as you can see, my knights just kind of angle themselves so they get a better charge, because I see his man-eaters are thinking that I won't charge through the forest. I was waiting for them to get a little bit closer, because it was kind of a longer charge. So I didn't charge anything. My Corn Warriors, my Zinch Warriors stay back a little bit while the dogs move up and dare the Iron Guts or the man-eaters to charge them at that angle. The Gore Beast backs up so that his Mournfang would need an 11 or 12 to actually hit him, so I was kind of hoping for that, because I would have loved to see both Beasts and the Gore Beast Chariot slam into the Mournfang. That would have been awesome. And my Sorcerer Lord on the disc flies around the hut in order to try to get a better angle for his spells on the entire Ogre army. During the magic phase, I can't remember which beast it was, but I got one of my spells off on the Mournfang, and he takes 5 or 6 toughness checks and fails 3, and a Mournfang dies. Also makes him stupid, as you can see, for the rest of the game. So unfortunately, believe it or not, he failed the panic check, but then we remembered they were stupid, so they didn't have to worry about it because they're immune to psychology, and they stood right there. It would have been better had they not been immune to psychology, but now that we play the rule like everyone else does, and GW doesn't seem to be doing FAQs anymore, it is what it is. What can you do? So we go to top of 2 after movement, and as you can see, the impossible has happened, and his Mournfang, needing an 11 to hit my Gore Beast Chariot, roll an 11, and slam into him. Yep, he rolled a 6, a 5, and a 3. Couldn't believe it, but, what can you do? The dice gods were all for it, so, Other than that, his Iron Guts and his Man-Eaters stay put because the dogs, he sees the trap, so he doesn't do anything. He stays put. So the dogs are holding them up, which is just phenomenal. And both of his Iron Blaster Cannons pivot to face my Sorcerer Lord on a disc, which was fine. I was kind of expecting that. Here's a better picture of his Mournfang making the insane charge into my Gore Beast Chariot, which sucks! Totally didn't see that coming, totally didn't expect that, but he rolled it, he made it, it was fair. What can you do? During his magic phase, I let him get off Fulminating Flame Cage on my Knights. I didn't care. They weren't going to move because his Man-Eaters didn't move. So why waste the Dispel Dice? Obviously, no damage occurred to him. Everyone's fine, and I have no intention of moving him. I just had to hope that I didn't fail my Leadership 9 because of the Standard of Discipline leadership check for stupidity, because that would have sucked. During his shooting phase, once again, one of his Iron Blasters misfires, and he rolls a 6. So, same thing. Almost the same direction phase. The stupid Iron Blaster turns and looks off the board. Oh well, they should blow up. Something should happen. The barrel should crack. But no, they always just spin. It's tradition now. Every single game I play with him. Go ahead, check. Every single game I play against this guy, he misfires with that thing, and he rolls a 5 or a 6, and they just turn around. We go into combat, and the Mournfang, who cares that this friggin' Gore Beast Chariot has toughness 6? He is able to wound me like it's going out of style. He wounds me 4 times, and I am not able to do anything back. Everything that I threw at him, either I missed or he made his armor save, which was just ridiculous. So with his 4 wounds charge and a banner to my literally nothing, he breaks the chariot and runs it down, because of course I roll like a 3 for fleeing, and it dies. Luckily, the Gilded Beast makes his panic check, and so there's that, but what a pain. But yeah, so far I'm not overly impressed with the Gorebeast Chariot's ability to take a charge. Granted, it was Mornfang. Granted, it was a tough thing. I didn't expect to take 4 wounds, though. I was a little discouraged by that. But, I didn't kick him out of the list just yet. So after that embarrassment, we go to bottom of 2 after movement. And as you can see, again, not a whole lot. My Sorcerer Lord moves around so that the Iron Blaster can't charge him. And my 2 beasts turn around to get a better angle at the Mornfang, because now that they're in my back rank, I need to do something about them. Meanwhile, my center doesn't move and my knights don't move because there's no reason to. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Bolt to change off on this Iron Blaster and put 3 wounds on him. However, he does make his toughness check, and now he has a 6-up regen. I don't care. I think that's awesome that I've just taken most of his wounds off with 1 shot. I love the lore of Tzeentch. So we go over to the top of 3 after movement because nothing else happens. And his Mornfang are stupid. Thank you, Mutalith Vortex Beasts. That was just outstanding. Not only are they stupid, but they move up just enough to give both Mutaliths a beautiful flank charge next turn. And I'm excited about that. Meanwhile, his 2 Iron Blasters move around to shoot at the Sorcerer Lord some more. And his Iron Guts and his Man-Eaters are again held up by the wall that is my Warhounds. They're just not moving. It's great. There's a better picture of the Mornfang as they're stupid and move up a few inches. During his magic phase, he does try to get off the Maw on the dogs, and he tries to get off, I think, Flamestorm on the dogs, and I let him get both off because I just don't care, and both times they deviate and they land like in the middle of the table where there's nothing. But during his shooting phase, his Firebelly did the Fire Breath and he does 3 hits, only 1 wounded, kills 1 dog, not enough for a panic check. It was outstanding. So 1 dog dies and nothing else happens. They're perfectly fine. They're still in the way. It's going on top of 4, and my dogs have held them up the entire time. Just outstanding. Just outstanding. So here's bottom of 3 after movement, and not a whole heck of a lot. Again, the Sorcerer Lord moves around so that the Iron Blaster can't get a charge on him. The Mutalists both go in and both hit the Mornfang, and since the dogs are still doing the speed bump thing, both my units of warriors and my knights just hang tight, waiting for him to cross that 37th parallel, So yeah, it's looking pretty good actually. And there's a better picture of the double beast attack go formation, and they slam right into the flank of that Mornfang, and I'm excited about it. During the magic phase, another an Infernal Gateway. I get that off on his wounded Iron Blaster and finish off his last 2 wounds, which was glorious. And then, just because I'm feeling froggy, I fire off a Bolt of Change on the Man-Eaters, and they take 3 wounds. I'm able to kill 1. I failed to wound when it cuts through it. No, I'm sorry. I do 2 wounds to him, and then he takes his toughness check, and he fails it, and he takes 2 more wounds with no armor save because of the Warp Flame special rule. So 1 guy pops, and another guy's carrying a wound, but remember that. Now he's down to 7 Man-Eaters, which he should have been from the get. No, wait, no, I'm sorry. He was fine. He had 7. It was the Firebelly that threw me off. Never mind. I'm a liar. Ignore me. So anyway, the Bolt of Change hits him, and 1 Man-Eater dies. The other one's carrying a wound. So we go into combat over here with the beasts against the Mornfang, and believe it or not, the Mornfang, I think I do 7 wounds to him. It was glorious. He makes 6 armor saves. 6 armor saves out of 7. Math says that's not likely. Yeah, but he makes 6 armor saves, and then his counter attacks, he's able to put 2 or 3 wounds on the blue Mutalith. I couldn't believe it. He wins this combat, and I'm able to make both my break checks, but then he turns the face, and I'm just devastated. My beast just tore him to pieces. And he makes every single armor save except for 1. It was devastating, to say the least. The beast did so well, and he just rolled even better. I was really upset because that should not have happened. So we go over the top of 4 with, my heart on my sleeve, and nothing. nothing moves on his side. The Iron Guts and his Man-Eater stay right where they are. The Iron Blaster already had an angle on this Sorcerer Lord, so he just kind of stands there. Everything just kind of sits around and waits. His magic doesn't do anything, so we go into combat. And not only does he put another two wounds on the blue Mutalith, but I get, what was it, 15 attacks or something like that. I rolled like an 11 on 2d6 plus 4 for both Mutaliths. I get like 15 attacks. I do 8 or 9 wounds to him. I'm like, oh, it's all over but the crying. He makes 7 or 8 saves. He basically has a Mournfang carrying 1 wound. That's it. He makes all of his saves. He gets his parry save, of course, now because he's facing the front. Couldn't believe it. He makes all but 1 again after I do just an amazing amount of wounds too. And yeah. He then turns around and does 2 more wounds to the wounded Mutalith. When they both break, he chases down the healthy Mutalith, the orange, the gilded one. He hadn't taken any wounds, so he chases him, catches him no problem. And a Bew Mutalith gets away, but he's sitting on 1 wound, and I'm just sick to my stomach. My opponent's luck when it came to rolling the dice and stuff like that, it sickened me a little bit. But what can you do? I want to fault him for it, but I won't. So after that, we go to bottom of 4 after movement. As you can see, the Sorcerer Lord moves around because those Mournfang have to be dealt with. The Fleeing Beast does rally. And now I'm starting to see that his Iron Guts and his Man-Eaters aren't doing anything. But now that I've lost the Beast, I also start to think that I'm losing in points. I'm almost positive that I'm going to lose my second Beast, so I need to do something. So I angle the Chaos Tzeentch Warriors to look at the Mournfang to try to charge them and deal with them that way. Meanwhile, the Knights and the Khorne Warriors stay put. The Sorcerer Lord runs over to try to soften up the Mournfang a little bit so that when they do charge the Beast, maybe he has a chance. I don't know. I was really worried, but I'm starting to think, oh crap, this is starting to slip through my fingers. This is not good. There's a better picture of the Beast rallying. At least you can rely on him. I do like him. But yeah, during my magic phase, I get Infernal Gateway off on the on the Mournfang, and I do like 11 strength 9 hits to him and easily put 9 wounds through on these guys. They die. Just taken care of, no problem. Saving the Beast, getting all those juicy points that I needed. And yeah, I'm sitting pretty at this point. I didn't even bother casting anything else, so I was happy. Nothing else happens, so we go to the top of 5 after movement. Nothing happens really. His Iron Guts stay put. His Man-Eaters shift a little bit, and that's what I was waiting for. That perfect flank shot for my Knights. So I was going to charge with the Khorne Warriors and my Knights next turn, because that's what I was waiting for. He was trying to take out my dog so he didn't have to charge him, but meanwhile, I'm slowly but surely picking away at everything else, so I was positive that I had those Man-Eaters this time. I was looking forward to the next turn. Meanwhile, his Iron Blaster just turns to get a better angle at the Sorcerer Lord. Nothing happens. Nothing. I make my ward save for the Cannonball when he hits me with the Sorcerer Lord. I'm able to dispel his Magic Phase, and so we go to bottom of 5. And the Beast moves up to try to get his spell off on either the Man-Eaters or the Iron Blaster. I hadn't decided yet. My Sorcerer Lord moves up to try to harass the Man-Eaters to try to soften them, or I'm sorry, the Iron Guts, to try to soften them up a little bit. I don't know why I didn't go after the Iron Blaster. I probably should have. I don't always do smart things. The Khorne Warriors fail their charge into the Man-Eaters, which is fine. They needed like a 10 to hit them, and I rolled an 8, so they were close. And but no, the Knights make it in no problem. I do lose a couple to the Forest, which sucks. And meanwhile, the Tzeentch Warriors stay put just in case the Iron Guts decide to charge the dogs, and then give me a better charge with the what's it called? The Tzeentch Warriors. There's a better picture of the 2 Knights that ran into trees as they go through the forest. Still don't have a problem with it. I think it was a good charge. There's a better picture of the Khorne Warriors failing their charge, and then the Man-Eaters. Not overly upset about this one. Kind of saw it coming, but it would have been a lot better had they made it in there. During my shooting phase, it's top of 5. I figure, or it's bottom of 5. I figure I might as well. I use Flaming Breath on the Iron Guts, and I'm able to kill 1 Iron Gut. I'll take it. Over here in combat, Lady Elizabeth issues a challenge. A unit champion that actually didn't exist in the list accepts it. She's able to put like 4 wounds through on him, no problem. The rest of my knights are able to kill. I think they kill a man-eater outright and put a couple of wounds on another one. Something like that. I think they do like 4 wounds. I lose 1 knight in return, which is perfectly fine. I win this combat, but they're stubborn 8 or whatever with the reroll. And it doesn't matter. He rolls like a 10 and an 11 and then flees. He goes 8 inches. I go 5. I rolled kind of low. I had my chance right here to really clinch this victory, and I failed by to not catch these guys. Really disappointed on that one. The Iron Guts do make their panic check on the reroll, and the Man-Eaters are now out of range to be charged by my knights next turn, so that was kind of discouraging. So we go to top of 6 after movement, and the Iron Guts finally charge the dogs, the Man-Eaters rally, and the Iron Blaster turns to get a shot off at the Sorcerer Lord again. There's a better picture of the rallying Man-Eaters. During his magic phase, he looks at me and he goes, "What's your general's leadership right now?" And I'm like, "I think it's a 4," because I had lost 4 points of leadership thanks to using the Skull of Catan, and that's when I start to realize that putting the Skull of Catan on my Sorcerer Lord was a really stupid idea. But yeah, you know, I don't always make great decisions, so he gets an Irresistible Force Brain Gobbler. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Irresistible Force. He gets a Brain Gobbler off on my Sorcerer Lord. There's nothing I can do about it. I do try, but he's just able to get it off. My Sorcerer Lord fails his panic check and begins to flee from the Man-Eaters because they were the closest, and that's where he ends up. The Iron Blaster can still see me, so in his shooting phase, he fires his cannon, hits my Sorcerer Lord. I roll a 2 for my ward save, and he does exactly 3 wounds to my Sorcerer Lord, killing him. And it's like, oh, the throws. So yeah, that sucked. But yeah, my Sorcerer Lord got killed while he was panicking off the table anyway. So what can you do, right? Life isn't always fair. In combat, obviously the dogs got killed by the Iron Guts. It's not a surprise, but they did their job great. They held up a brick of Man-Eaters and a brick of Iron Guts the entire game, and I love them for it. They will never come out of the list. What great, speed bumps, I guess they were. I was really happy with them. So with all that drama over, we go to bottom of 6 after movement, and I do a quick point total in my head and go, oh crap, when he killed my Sorcerer Lord, he pulled into the victory, so I need points, so I send everything I can into combat, which is basically everything I have left. The Beast and the Knights slam into the Man-Eaters, and the Corn Warriors and Zenith Warriors slam into the Iron Guts, and I'm just praying for a miracle. There's a better picture of all my warriors going into all of his Iron Guts. There's a better picture of what's left of my knights and Lady Elizabeth and the Beast going into the Man-Eaters. And again, I need hope. I need something. In combat over here, an unhad unit champion in his unit of Iron Guts accepts a challenge that he shouldn't have. I will talk to this guy about that, I promise. A unit champion that didn't exist accepted the challenge. Berserk is easily able to rip his face off, and he gets a reroll for his troubles, which is always nice. There is a ton of damage done in this combat. I do like 15, 16 wounds altogether to his Iron Guts. He does 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds to me. With everything that's said and done, after it's all over, I win combat, but his Slaughtermaster is holding on to the Crown of Command. He's stubborn 8 or something like that, and they make their break check no problem. Over here, only one Man-Eater is left, and he's stubborn 8, and he rolls like a 3, so he makes it no problem. Lady Elizabeth does end up killing off the Firebelly in this one in a challenge, and gets +1 initiative for her trouble. I don't end up taking any damage. Like I said, I win this combat by a landslide, but they're stubborn 8, and the Man-Eater survives in the bottom of 6, so I get no points for that, other than the Firebelly. And there we go at the end of the game. That's what it looks like. There's a huge fight in the middle there. There's a fight that if I had just one more round, I probably would have been able to clinch this one. But yeah, one Man-Eater is all that held me off. But yeah, I'm definitely going to talk to this guy about looking at his list and realizing he doesn't have unit champions and stuff like that. I don't know if it would have really changed anything. It might have. The man-eater that accepted the original challenge with Lady Elizabeth wouldn't have been able to just pass that off. So either his Firebelly would have gone to the back, or Lady Elizabeth would have had a better chance of killing the Firebelly earlier. Who knows? And down in with the Iron Guts and stuff like that, he would have had to give up either a BSB or his Slaughtermaster, and or rejected a challenge, and I would put his BSB in the back, something like that, so he wouldn't have gotten a reroll. I honestly don't remember if he would have needed the reroll or not, but regardless, if it's not in your list, you can't use it, so I will talk to him about that. But you know what, we'll get to the recap in a second, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Token time, everybody. Tokens. Check them out. All the tokens you could need for anything that you could possibly play. Warhammer 40k, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Infinity, Malifaux, whatever you need tokens for, Token Gal can make the tokens. They're dirt cheap, guys. No more than $8 for a set, but they're solid gold quality. I mean, these are glass beads. They magnify the picture and the words. You've got wound counters. You've got status effects. You've got spell effects. +1 toughness, -1 strength. Whatever you need. She's got all the magic lores. She's got everything you need for any system that you play. She's got a email address you can send and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And now she has a website. It's there at the bottom. I'm not going to bother reading it off, because if you can't read, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Just seriously, though, check her out. Check out her website. Order yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. Hey guys, I know I've already talked to you about this before, but you should really check these pictures out, because they were all painted, including my model, by Unleashed Wargaming. And they have their email right up there at the top of the page, and they've also got it down there. They got a YouTube channel. He's working on a website. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, really, if you get a chance, check these guys out. If you're looking for someone to paint your stuff real good, seriously, check these guys out. Go to his, send him an email, check out his YouTube page. It's really worth your time. It's a phenomenal job. It's quick, it's painless. You don't have to worry about painting your stuff. And soon I'll be running a model that these guys painted for me, and I'm very excited about that. But check out these pictures. Give this guy an email. Check him out on YouTube. Get your models painted by him if you can. It's totally worth it. And tell him Tremendous sent you. So yep, after we totaled up all the points and everything like that, it was an actual loss for me. I got 715 points out of him. He got 930 out of me. I ended up losing my Sorcerer Lord. Oh God, that was awful. Yep. Shouldn't have put that Skull of Catan on the Sorcerer Lord. Starting to see why that's a bad idea. I mean, Cannonball to the face is Cannonball to the face, but oh, did that suck. I lost my Warhounds, but they served me well. I lost my Gore Beast Chariot, and that was unfortunate. And I lost the Gilded Beast, and that was just a dice game that I lost. The Ogres ended up losing the Firebelly, their Unit of Mournfang, and 1 Iron Blaster. I just didn't do enough damage. Really was impressed with the way my dogs basically blocked combat the entire game until like top of 6. That was great. I love Tzeentch Magic. God, I missed it. It was really great to see how that worked out. When they blasted, when I got a hold of the Iron Blaster and blasted the entire Mournfang off the table, that was huge. Really do regret putting the Skull of Catan on the Sorcerer Lord. That obviously won't change until the next time I get to redo my list, but yeah, that's definitely coming off. I still love the Skull of Catan, just not on a Leadership 8 Sorcerer Lord that's out all by himself. It's great to be back. I'm really sorry that I was gone for so long, but hey, work sometimes has to take precedence because, I like to eat. And I can't wait to get more games in. Loving the Dual Beast list. Expect to see a lot more of that because that's very enjoyable. I do like the monster heavy lists. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for Battle Report number 106. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because I'm not going to stop doing these, unless I have to go to work or something, and that can always be a pain in the butt. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.